these specific people, players on their team in their specific positions. Gruff, we saw him yesterday play Geb. He played very, very well. Honestly, some of the best games that we've seen Gruff ever play. If you had seen him throughout the Pro League in the time of he was playing support, yes, he was there. He wasn't really performing as much as we would expect, but on LAN, he's definitely showing up.
Alrighty, picks and bans starting here. Avant banning away that Erlang Shen. Have to do that. We saw how devastating it was against Insight yesterday, so very smart there by Avant. Option now with Pandamonium. I'd expect them to ban out something like a Fafnir here. Yeah,
the Fafnir is just too strong. I mean, well, would they ban the Fafnir? Because we saw Panda. Panda had a clear-cut strategy to verse and counter the Fafnir with the Amaterasu as well. We were talking to, they could just simply kite the Fafnir ult against Biggie, and clearly they know how to counter it. They're going to ban the Raijin, and it's going to be Odin now banned on the side of Avant-Garde.
Yes, so definitely targeting out Roe. And, last time we saw Gruff and Divine at LAN, it was under the Tainted Minds banner, and they targeted Roe there as well, although he did play in the jungle at that stage. But still, the Odin and Erlang Shen can be just such devastating team fight contributors that Avant-Garde just simply don't want to deal with it. Geb now banned out by Team Pandemonium. Susano left open here. If Liquid Renegade doesn't take this one, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, of course. We saw, I was just mentioning with Geb as well. Geb was played very well there on the side of Gruff. Gruff was playing that as well. And then Susano locked in instantly. Liquid Renegade, another player on the side of Avant-Garde that wasn't really performing too strong throughout the split. And we saw him come up at LAN, and he played the Susano, and he played the Humbats, and he played it very, very well.
It's just the mobility of it is the real killer, because Liquid Renegade got in, dealt a lot of damage, and then got himself out there. The extreme mobility that Susano provides, both with his passive, giving him increased movement speed, his dashes, and his teleport. It's just insane. The knock-up from the Typhoon as well. We saw him get several man ultimates there. Amaterasu and Giannis locked in here for Team Pandemonium, so two comfortable picks for Roe and for Ochida. The Giannis, Ochida's always just pulled this one out in the clutch. Whenever Pandemonium needs to win a game, they just pick up the Giannis.
It's just such a strong and comfortable pick for Ochida, and he just plays it consistently well every single game that he plays it. And I really like this Amaterasu pick because Fafnir is still on the board, and they know they can deal with a Fafnir with Amaterasu. So they're expecting Avant-Garde to lock it in here. I was talking to Gropp before this game. He doesn't really favor the Fafnir over something like a Barkers or the Geb, which is banned out. So we'll have to see later on what he's going to lock in. It is going to be the Hoi Yi and the Raven, and I love the Hoi Yi. Rob Diggety's going to be playing that one. He's most played God.
Yep, Hoi Yi, Ravan picked up here. So Chuckles, he's played a fair amount of Ravan in this time. See if I can find the exact amount here. He's played Ravan. Actually, he didn't play it at all. It was Liquid Renegade that played Ravan. So,
in the jungle,
So Chuckles hasn't played Ravan all split, so this is actually something new for him. This is something we saw the Beast on a lot yesterday, and he actually had a fair amount of success in it against Roe. Honbat's now locked in for Maxon here on Team Pandemonium, so a new god for Chuckles here, pulling it out at LAN. A bit of a risky decision, do you think?
Very, very risky. Of course, we saw yesterday as well, mentioned Laney played Soul for the first time in quite some time, and that, I mean, it didn't work out for them because they did in turn lose the match, not because of Laney, I'm not going to say that, but playing a new god, but it's Raven. Of course, he had to play Raven. He's one of the only players that was consistently performing throughout the Pro League and playing Raven. Raven's very, very easy to play. I mean, you just throw out you've got so much damage you clear. You've got your 10-end Shadowfist, your Piranha Onslaught as well. The ultimate's just great to engage or to back out as well.
Alrighty, ban here. Barkus banned by Team Pandemonium. Sobek banned by Avant-Garde, so really targeting out each other's supports. Avant-Garde can really feel comfortable here because, I doubt Pandemonium is going to ban away the Kumbhakana, which, Gruff really likes. A lot of CC on that with the Mez he provides, the knock-up, the root, the amount of damage he can output as well is pretty crazy. So, I doubt Avant-Garde's terribly worried here, but they have to remember, Pandemonium has got a pocket pick here in the support role, Richard Castle's Ares.
Richard Castle's Ares. It's such a formidable opponent as well. And he absolutely loves these gods that just dish out damage. And Ares, definitely one of those. If you can hit 2, 3 chains, you've got your Searing Flesh as well. Bait their Purification, no escape, bring them back into the team, set them up. You've got the Giannis on their team, through space and time, Unstable Vortex, Portal combo for that matter as well, and then Humbats as well. Good pick, good ban there on the side of Avant-Garde, focusing clearly towards Richard Castle.
So, you got to think Pandemonium's got to pick a support here. What's left open to them here? You've got Kumbhakana, you've got Ymir.
Ymir. You could go with a warrior support. I mean, we've seen it happen before.
Athena,
of course,
obviously.
still on the board. Kepri's open as well. We can look for
Khepri is
Gruff to
open.
pick that, yeah.
Khepri is open, although I don't know how much necessarily Gruff favors that over something like a Kumbhakana.
Yeah.
I
would like to see
like
the
the
combo.
Khepri obviously because of the revive. It's just such a strong ability. You know, how can you really go past it? You got to. The other thing that they're left here for is a mid laner, and really, Divine's got a full pool of mid laners open here, except for
Yeah, he has a good
Giannis
pool.
and Raijin. So you know he's got a Soul left open, which he did really well with yesterday.
Kronos.
Vulcan he's played to tremendous success as well. Poseidon is also open here. Kronos though,
Yep.
this is a traditional.
it.
This is just an Divine pick straight up. He used to play solo lane. Loves to 1v1 as well.
Very
He's got an
dominant solo
insane
laner.
Kronos. I saw a lot of auto attack based gods here on the side of Avant Garde. But they've only got their ADC left. You know, this would have been a game where I would have perhaps liked to have seen a Bologna picked.
Yeah,
Rather
I
than
was
you know
just gonna
trying to
say
get the
that as well.
Amaterasu straight up. But you know, perhaps Team Pandemonium's got a strategy here with the Amaterasu that we just don't really expect.
I mean, you never know. You never know. Pandemonium now needs to lock in a Hunter. It is going to be the Rama. I really like the Rama pick. Subfloor is going to be playing that one. Just such a strong god. You've got, as soon as you hit late game, he hits very, very hard. You've got the pick-me-up. He does so much damage. His attack speed will be through the roof. And also, we've seen Subfloor consistently hitting the Astral Barrages.
Alrighty, so we're about to head into game here, folks, between Avant Garde and Team Pandemonium. Both of these guys fighting out here in this best-of-5 grand finals for the nominal title of regional champions. Team Pandemonium defending that one currently. Avant Garde looking to play the underdog upset, which they did yesterday to Legacy Esports. Let's see if they can continue that momentum here. But for now, you know, just looking at these picks, Team Pandemonium, a bit more of a traditional team composition compared to that of Avant Garde. We haven't even really talked about the Kumbhakana pick, really. We talked about it before it was picked, but, you know, for all the reasons I mentioned before, very... Gruff really likes that one a lot. You know, he puts out a lot of damage, can help you get some pressure in lane, which would be really good against a Ram and Athena, which don't have the best lane clear themselves. You know, it'll get Hou through that awkward first stage where he's struggling to clear waves a little bit. That Kumbhakana will aid him greatly in that. You know, objective secure, it's great as well. He could take out a member from the team fight straight away with his ultimate as well.
Exactly.
So it's a really great pickup here, I feel, from Avant Garde.
Yeah, and we saw him play yesterday when he was playing the Geb. Blink, Cataclysm would hit 3 or 4 people. This time, I would expect Gruff to play the same kind of style with the Kumbhakana. I would like to see him pick up the Blink. Not traditionally first Relic. Could pick that up once he hits level 12. And go into the Blink. Might be a meditation, might be a shell first up. But the Blink, and then we can see what Kiki did in that best of 1 game. Blink, you ult the squishier targets. As soon as they come down, you can just output damage. You're going to have the Kronos there. You're going to have the Susanoo there as well to just output the damage. And they can't do anything while they're in the air. So there's just waiting time to have the cooldowns reset and to have everyone positioned in time for when they come down.
All right, this Kronos mid will struggle a little bit early in the game up against the Giannis. Doesn't have the best clear in the world. So... really, Avant Garde, though, they can hold out into this late game stage. They've got a very strong late game team composition with that Kronos, with the Hou. You know, even the Kumbhakana starts to do a lot of damage in the world.
Alrighty, well, we are jumping into game number 1. Let's hear it in the crowd if you're going for Avant Garde, the underdogs going into this game. El Chuckles will be in the solo lane playing that Raven. Liquid Renegade in that jungle playing the Susanoo. Idivine is your mid laner playing the Kronos, and your duo lane will be comprised of Gruff playing the Kumbhakana and Rob Diggity on the Hou.
On the right-hand side, under the red health bars, defending champions, you have got Team Pandemonium. Ro is in the solo lane on Amaterasu. Maxon in the jungle on Hunbats. Ochida as Giannis in the mid lane. Richard Castle in subfloor as your duo lane as Athena and Ram. Let's hear it for the regional champions, Team Pandemonium. Clearly the crowd favors Avant Garde in this one, or at least supporting Avant Garde. Look at this invade here from Chuckles and Liquid Renegade onto the speed buff, looking for a reverse strategy from what we saw Pandas do yesterday.
He's in trouble.
Liquid
Caught
Renegade
his dash.
caught the dash there, but not going to get it. There is a Wrath online for Liquid Renegade if they want to start up the speed buff, but it looks like Ro and Maxon are going to contest this one. They have a Wrath online as well, so Liquid Renegade and Chuckles don't want to contest over the speed buff. Instead, they're going to go for the blue, take that one away from Ro.
They expected this as well. Take a look at the 2 wards that they've placed. One right at the top of the fire elementals, and then another one right at the top right-hand side of those mid-camps. They expected an invade, and with such an aggressive lineup with the Raven and the Susanoo, it's a good expectation for Team Panda.
I love this. This just shows that Avant Garde have, you know, seen what Team Pandemonium did yesterday when they invaded Beast Blue buff and put Ro ahead. Ro from ahead is just
Oh,
scary.
it's catastrophic. Yeah.
It's scary, and they don't want that for themselves. And El Chuckles, a great caliber of player here in OCD, a tremendous solo laner himself. You know, just like the Beast, but you know the Beast is a fantastic solo laner. Was behind against Roman, couldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
Avant Garde definitely want to have their Chuckles online.
Yeah, definitely. And he's playing the Raven as well, so he's going to be very, very confident in lane. Ro won't be able to do too much to out-clear him or outbox him for that matter as well. Chuckles and Liquid Renegade will be able to pick up their blue buff. But left-hand side though, Husey, Gruff, as predicted, has gone into the blink. I would have liked to see him maybe build into the meditation or the shell at the start here, and then level 12 go for the blink once he started to rotate a lot more. But I do like the blink pickup right at the start.
Yeah, you just go blink into that epic uppercut, take someone straight away out of a team fight. Means that Avant's going to be fighting her here early, you know, around that level 5, level 7 mark, rather than waiting for Gruff to get to level 12, which, you know, could be a fair while given he's playing support.
Mid lane, Liquid Renegade and Divine hitting level 4 now. They'll be close to hitting level 5 after the next few waves and their back camps as well. And iDivine playing the Chronos very, very late game. We've seen Freya being played in this tournament. We've seen Divine. Now he's playing the Chronos at a LAN event. So expect him to be doing somewhat similar things to what Laney was doing on the Freya, and really just a ticking time bomb. Once Chronos hits late game, he will be hitting very hard.
It's not quite as devastating as the Freya is late game because the Cronus is more single target compared to the Freya, who has an area of effect buff, I guess, to her auto attacks. But he's got a really great stun and slow in his one, and you can see that he tried to get it onto Maxa, but unable to get it. The stop time, I should say.
Yeah, the stop time and the time rift.
Should remember my abilities, shouldn't I?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea, but the stop time and the time rift is also what he's going to be, and the accelerate. You've got the rewind in his ultimate as well, which if he gets in trouble, if he gets taunted by Richard Castle, he's got the purification. He can, or even Ochita, if Ochita or Maxon try to aggress with their ultimates or their portal combo, he can just purification and then use rewind, and he's back to full health safely under his tower.
Alrighty, Max in level 5 here, possibly looking for iDivine over the wall, as well as Liquid
He has
Renegade.
ult.
He does have Fear No Evil online, waiting for them to come through here. Here it is, Fear No Evil down onto iDivine, who immediately rewinds. So ult for ult there. Nothing much coming out of it, but Team Pandamonium invading the red buff. Here comes Gruff in there. There's a blink mesmerization. There is a stun from iDivine. Maxon taken very low through space of time. It gets Maxon out of trouble there. Subfloor looking to deal some damage. Richard Castle trying to get to the portal. Body blocks are real. iDivine, first blood. Avant Garde take down Richard Castle from Team Pandamonium.
Perfect body blocking there of the portal to make sure he couldn't get out into safe hands. Richard Castle will be falling down. First blood going towards Avant Garde, and it's on the side of iDivine. That's what you want. You want your Chronos to get the most amount of kills so he gets the late game even quicker. Gets a little bit more gold in his pocket so he can start getting those core items online.
iDivine taking the right-hand side mid-camps now as well. He's hit level 7. Cheetah's still level 6. Not too much of a disparity at this point in terms of the experience, but a hefty 400 gold lead for iDivine. As you mentioned, a very late-game character, getting him ahead early. This is trouble for Team Pandamonium here early in the grand finals.
Maxon needs to rethink his strategy if he wants to dive onto iDivine. He's going to have the purification, and most of the time will have his rewind up as well at the same time, as Maxon will have his Fear No Evil unless he goes into maybe like a Breastplate of Valor or the Jotun's Wrath that we like to see to give him a little bit more cooldown reduction. Until then, Maxon, every time he's going to gank, he's just going to have purification up, and he's just going to have that rewind. Looking on the right-hand side, Liquid Renegade and Chuckle's going to clear out the wave. We'll be able to pick up their blue buff. No invade coming out from Panda.
No invade there. They don't really want to either. You know, Rose, you know, still behind, hasn't had a blue buff yet. And I think actually Avant Garde stole away his blue buff again. So Ro going to be really struggling for mana here this stage in the game. He will have decent clear online at this point. He has lit level 7, but still the mana issues are definitely going to be something he's concerned about.
In the mid lane, we can see Liquid Renegade lurking around. Maxon and Ochita will be looking to pick up left-hand side. Gold Fury does have a ward on the side of Avant Garde, so Pandemonium can't go for any kind of sneaky attempt on that because Avant Garde do have the vision on top of it.
Taking a look at our ADCs now, we can see Subfloor's gone for this death. So actually, Maxon in the mid lane looking for iDivine.
Oh my gosh.
Rewind, it didn't get off before Maxon claimed the kill here. A lot of damage coming out of Ochita, but Maxon might pay for it here. Look at that though, Richard Castle. Actually, that was a rat coming out from Maxon that stunned both Liquid Renegade and Gruff. So excellent work there by Maxon to get in, get a kill, and then get out again. Yeah,
that was great. You've got so much CC on their board. You've got so much damage as well. If we can take a look into damage, I don't know what chunked him so much there. It must have been, I mean,
It's unstable.
Yeah,
vortex.
unstable
'Cause
vortex,
there's,
while he was standing still.
He's got the Soul Stone fully online. He has his boots built as well.
Yeah.
So there's that penetration online for him as well as a significant amount of magical damage. So, you know, Idavine didn't get a chance to pop that rewind quick enough.
Not at all. So that's a good plan from Pandamonium. We were just talking about Maxon needing to rethink his strategy. They need to have at least 3 people there to make sure that Idavine, yes, he's going to use Purification and Rewind, but they need to have the damage before he can Rewind to take out the kill. And that's exactly what Pandamonium had, and they get themselves 1 kill on the board.
Right-hand side, we can see Chuckles farming up here underneath Ro's own tower. Ro,
He's 2 levels ahead.
Very low on his mana here. Heavenly Reflection used. Chuckles willing to take this fight now, just dealing some extra damage to Ro, who's forced to pop that aura change to give himself a little bit of healing. But, you know, just more and more mana issues. We haven't seen Ro been able to rotate into these fights like we normally see him do. Pandemonium starting to ward around this Gold Fury. Could look to fight here. If they so desire. They got a decent, you know, fight. It's by Richard Castle. Goes in, taunts, Purification from Idavine. Maxon looking for the kill. Good stun from Idavine. Typhoon used. Maxon very low. His shell pop just peels away too. Good portal there from Ochita, but actually keeps Avant-Garde close. Ochita picks up one, but Rob Diggity rotates in perfectly, gets himself another one.
Here
Richard Castle coming in. The Sunbreaker is down. Richard dives away. Gruff looking for one. Now Chuckles out of the jungle. Sees his former teammate into the ground. Gruff trying to survive here. Rob Diggity picks up one. Subfloor picks up a kill. Rob Diggity double kill now. He's got 3 kills in this last fight, and Avant-Garde take that one handily. 4 for 2 trade.
Absolutely perfect rotation there from Rob Diggity in that Hunter role. Able to rotate over, dish out the damage, using the Suns, using the Ricochet damage. You've got the Mark to do extra damage on top of all the squishier targets like Ochita, and even shredding what Ro had, all of his protections. We do see the Defender of Olympus and Subfloor going up in the air.
Here he is, snipes 1, 2, takes down Rob Diggity. Gold Fury still leashed by Avant-Garde here. Wrath used Avant, take out the Gold Fury. Idavine takes down Richard Castle as well. Through space of time has been used. Maxon going in deep here, gets one onto Idavine, helps Subfloor with that kill there. Good mess from Gruff, and downforce Maxon. Chuckles here doing some work, but Ro is here. He has rotated, and Subfloor picks up Chuckles for a double kill. Ro still chasing down Gruff here, but Gruff gonna walk away here. So a Gold Fury for the loss of 3 people and gaining 2, that's just, Avant-Garde will take that any day of the week. Look at the graphs here. 2,000 experience, 1,900 the gold difference.
Yeah, that's a very, very drastic lead going into the side of Avant-Garde. They'll be very, very happy with that trade that they just came out of. Liquid Renegade now on the right-hand side. He's level 9, so he does have the level advantage over Maxon. Looking at most of the players here on the side of Avant-Garde, they do have some significant level advantage over everyone on Panda.
Exactly right. Panda's going to secure themselves their speed buff here. And they're going to get the blue buff for Ro finally. The first one he'll have all game, so he's going to be happy with that one. We can see the effect just having Ro in a team fight has. They managed to pick up a couple of kills just due to his presence. We can see now Liquid Renegade and Gruff trying to contest these right-hand side camps. I believe they secured them for their team, but Panda were looking to pull the trigger in a fight there.
Yeah, they wanted to engage here. They didn't want to commit too hard because they know that they are somewhat behind. Avant-Garde need to reset. They've got their relics coming online very, very shortly. 20 seconds
Middle
left.
tower, Liquid Renegade diving for a cheater, but manages to get out with a portal. Fear no evil from Maxon. Typhoon from Liquid Renegade to get him out of trouble, but Maxon blinks in with the Sacred Monkey. Gruff counter blink, takes up Maxon into the sky. Liquid Renegade nowhere to run. Richard Castle picks up the kill, but Gruff looking for a return onto Maxon here. Can he find it? No, Maxon gets away underneath the tower. Excellent gank there from Team Pandamonium.
Yeah, absolutely flawless there. They had, they caught them out of guard, and now, whoa, Avant actually going to be turning around. They lost Liquid Renegade, but now they're looking for the tier 1 tower. Ro could be in some trouble to stop time, and the time rift is going to connect.
Chronos. It is simply just divine. Excellent play there out of the mid laner for Avant-Garde, and they claim the first tower of this game. The objectives have all gone Avant's way in this game. 10 minutes in, we see a Gold Fury and a tier 1 tower down. This is looking positive here for the boys in blue.
Take a look at Idavine, 3, 2, and 5. 30 stacks on his Doom Orb now, so he's going to be very, very comfortable with that. He has the rewind to make sure that he doesn't lose those stacks as often as a general mid laner would. Ochita going for a very typical build that we like to see on him. He's going for that Chronos Pendant after picking up the boots. That's going to give him that extra cooldown on his abilities so he can dish out the damage. Generally on Pandamonium, Ochita definitely topping the charts for damage.
It's also for the utility as well for the portals. How many times have we seen Team Pandemonium escape with the barest tick of health just simply due to Ochita having a fortuitous portal or a threshold to speed his teammates up and slow the enemy down?
Yeah, and last time we saw Insight, they when they were versing him in the semi-finals, Insight recognized that Ochita on Giannis was such a pain, so they banned it out. Do you think Avant Garde going into next game will be looking to ban that out if it is such a problem for them?
Well, it just really depends on how this game goes. If
Yeah,
Avant
exactly.
win, you know, they've obviously got a strategy to deal with it. If they lose, they may look to ban it out. But, you know, really at this point, Max has been doing such work on this one, but that's been more of the problem for him. Subfloor's got 4 kills, but that's all off the back of Maxon's efforts.
Yeah, Subfloor 4-0 going for the Devourer's Gauntlet start. That's going to give him a lot of lifesteal, so he can potentially attempt to box out Rob Diggity. He's going to have lifesteal in his Devourer's Gauntlet, so he's going to be stacking those up. We'll need a few more waves to get that completely stacked. Until then, he's just going to be dishing out basics, healing off of them, and keeping them sustained in fights.
Left-hand side mid-camp's going to fall here to Avant Garde. Richard Castle and Ochita looking for something potentially here, but not willing to take that fight just yet. Waiting for Maxon to show back up, I would imagine. Right outside, we can see Chuckles and Rogue going at it a
Look
little
at the
bit
level
here.
advantage.
3 level difference between
Wow.
these two.
That's I mean, El Chuckles, yeah, definitely the carry on the side of Avant Garde on the most consistent player. But against Rowe playing Amaterasu as well, this is one of his most comfortable gods. Rowe very, very easily can play that at a high level, but just El Chuckles has been playing very, very well and farming efficiently as well.
So there's a 3-man rotation here on this side. It was a 4-man rotation when Chuckles was here to secure that blue buff. And they can really take that gamble because the Gold Fury isn't up. And usually when you see a 4-man rotation to the right-hand side, you just say, hey, Gold Fury time, boys. But none of that here from Team Pandamonium. Avant Garde securing that Golden Harpy earlier in the game. Maxon, Richard Castle, Ochita lurking over a wall, potentially looking to pick off one member of Avant Garde. But Avant, they've got the experience advantage here. They've got the gold advantage. They're willing to take this fight. Everyone but Subfloor's here. Everyone but Rob Diggity on the side of Avant is here as well. So it looks like Chuckles is actually stealing away this blue buff. He does. Going to take away the small creeps as well. Give that farm to Divine. So Rowe losing a lot of his buffs here. Very smart game plan here from Avant Garde. Just put Rowe behind, get Chuckles ahead. You know, this is what Insight needed to do yesterday.
Exactly. Gold Fury now has respawned, so Rob Diggity going to be clearing out the woods. They can attempt to start this, definitely. I think that Avant Garde have the lead now that they can look to start up a fight and wait for Pandamonium to engage, because generally we've seen Avant Garde, if they go for an objective, they're going to fully commit to it. Pandamonium want to play aggressive. They want to go for kills, and Avant Garde need to play on top of that strategy that Pandamonium love to do so much.
Gold Fury. Liquid Renegade hanging around this objective. He's got a ward here, so I expect he's just waiting to try and pick off someone like a Richard Castle while they go to clear out the ward, but Pandamonium got their own ward there. They spotted out that rotation very early. Actually, we can see significant number of the Pandas rotating towards this Gold Fury now. El Chuckles is deep in the Pandemonium jungle here. Was proxying away between towers, away from Rowe. Rowe starting his own counter rotation towards this here. Both trying to pull off some kind of flank maneuver. No, Rowe, in fact, is going for his own wave proxy here, but Chuckles is going to be involved in this fight well before Rowe is. Rowe does have a teleport available, so he can teleport to a ward when this fight breaks out. And in fact, it looks like he's doing that just now as he's standing still between these waves. He is here. He's in the backline. He's getting bursted down, actually. Very low health. In the back is Rowe, but Divine doesn't manage to secure the kill. Richard Castle taken up into the air by Graph. Down comes the Sunbreaker ultimate as well. Richard Castle taken down very low. Maxon looking for some damage here. Liquid Renegade Typhoon looking for a kill onto Subfloor. Not going to get it. He's up in the snipes. One hits. The second and third do not. And here's Ochita getting Maxon through a portal. Maxon good. Rat stun here.
Nice.
Taken out by Rob Diggity. Defender of Olympus used by Richard Castle onto his solo laner as Pandemonium look to re-engage.
Yeah, that's a one for nil, actually. And now they look to go back in. Richard Castle in some trouble. A lot of damage being applied to him. One more basic from Divine is going to find it.
Rowe now in lots of trouble. Rob Diggity slams down onto him.
Can they find it?
Liquid Renegade gets the kill. Divine rewinds. And now it's back to the Gold Fury for Avant Garde. Doing very well in this game as we're about to hit 15 minutes. They're up 11-7. Gold Fury will give them an even bigger advantage in the gold and experience departments. Let's take a look now. 4,600, the gold and experience difference.
This was exactly what I was saying yesterday as well. If Avant Garde can play the same as they did against Legacy, the top seed, in today's match against Team Pandemonium, I think they can definitely take this to a Game 5 or even close it out 3-0. Avant Garde definitely the unfavored matchup against Pandemonium. Most people would predict Pandemonium to do very well against them, but Avant Garde playing exactly how they did yesterday, playing very confident at a LAN setup like this, and they are really bringing it to the regional champions.
Graph 0, 1, and 10, just such an integral part of this team now that he joined only about halfway through the split, but doing, what he's done all split, but just with a little bit more success, setting up for his team, getting them in a position to, really show off the potential that we all know they have.
Yeah, Divine as well. Divine and Gruff have basically been a part of every single team fight and every single kill. Divine has got all 11 stacked up there. Gruff missing out on 1 assist, but just playing so well together, playing their roles, playing their gods. Everything that you need to see on Divine is what he's been doing. He's been playing very backline, coming in when he needs to, getting those stuns off and getting the damage out.
Chuckles just teleported to a ward here over on the right-hand side, so it looks like Avant Garde want to try and force down this tier 1 tower here. Liquid Renegade was through Ochita's portal here, dashes away from them now. They're over a ward. Chuckles has been spotted out by that same ward, so Pandamonium know that they're here. Again, it's another 4-on-4 fight while the 2 ADCs stay over on that left-hand side. Gruff tanking the tower now. Road dashing away, so it looks like Pandamonium sounding to disengage on this tower, not willing to commit to a fight.
Yeah, that's probably the best call that they can make here because El Chuckle still has that level advantage over Roe. Still a 2-level advantage. Everyone has their ultimates up. Liquid Renegade could look to dive here. This is very risky coming onto the tier 2 tower because look behind him, Ochita and Roe still in the jungle.
Rob Diggity trying to force a one-on-one fight here with Subfloor, jumps onto him. A couple more basic attacks will do it. Sunbreaker ultimate. Rob Diggity looking for the last basic.
Yeah,
he gets it soloed. Subfloor falls down to Rob Diggity. Fight on the right-hand side now breaking out. Idivine already forced to rewind. Typhoon comes out, does some damage through space and time off the mark, but Ochita's here. Unstable Vortex. Roe taken very low up into the sky. Richard Castle was knocked up there by Gruff, and now El Chuckles is here. The Buckles himself trying to find a kill. Rob Diggity going to take down the left-hand side at tier 1. The rest of his team, the tier 2 on the right-hand side.
You could not have asked for a more perfect fight for the side of Avant Garde. They take the tier 1, they take the tier 2 and right. Meanwhile, Rob Diggity gets a solo kill, and then he takes another structure of his own. 3 towers in that fight. What a perfect play there from Avant Garde all around the map.
A fantastic play. It's incredible to see. Where has this been?
Where has this been all split? I do not know.
Idivine was the key.
I mean, Idivine's such a crucial player on every single team he's been on. Have a look at Gruff. Looking for the blink. Does get the mez onto Maxon.
Rowe take it very low. They're just picking on the solo laner here, taking him out. He's also the shot caller for Team Pandemonium. You take him out of a team fight. That's a lot of the communication down from Team Pandemonium. All right, right-hand side, tier 2, being pressured by Avant Garde. The double basic attack comp they've got with this Kronos and the Ho Yi is going to mean they shred the structures down very quickly. The accelerate as well from the Kronos just makes him a tremendous objective taker.
13-7 reads the scoreline. Almost 18, almost 19 minutes into this one, should I say. Fire Giant's still out of the question for just a little bit. I mean, oh my gosh, this is Avant Garde we are talking about. Coming into this very, very confident against the regional champions, able to take out Alpha Sydney, coming into the Pro League, and now coming to LAN and showing up.
They didn't even win half their games this split. They won 8 out of their 20 games this split.
That's less than half. That's like 40%, not even.
They're taking it to the defending regional champions here. 10,000 golden experience the difference. This is a stage where you start to think, all right, next game.
Maybe we should take these guys seriously.
All right, a quick pause here by Ro. Looks like we're having some technical issues, but you know, Avant Garde, Idivine 4, 2, and 8, part of the 12 of the 13 kills.
Look
part
at
of every kill except for that Rob Diggity solo kill. 11,000 damage. El Chuckles 9,500 damage. Rob Diggity 8,400. Just, you know, El Chuckles. We've talked about him a little bit this game, but as you mentioned, the model of consistency for his team, and you know, we don't see, he's not like a hyper carry, but he's definitely carrying his team through just simply his presence in these fights. You know, the amount of frontline he can do. The bullying Roe out of lane, just taking Roe out of the equation in these fights has been tremendous. Yeah,
and speaking of Roe, take a look at the damage as we come back into this game. 3,000 damage. You look at him yesterday, and he was a completely different person playing the Erlang Shen. He was topping the charts.
He was
10
bullying
times
them. As much. He was sitting at 30,000
damage.
And now that was a few minutes later, but still, he's now second bottom damage, only below Richard Castle, or only above Richard Castle, I should say.
All right, right-hand side, Avant Garde in a good position. They can look to take away the tier 2 tower, the only remaining structure. Divine forced to rewind there. A little bit out of position with no backup in the mid lane.
He doesn't have his purification online either, so Maxon can look for an ultimate here with the Fear No Evil, and Idivine will be helpless. Ro looking for something here. Around the back comes Liquid Renegade. He's focusing out Ochita. Ochita forced to teleport into the middle of the lane. There's the through space of time. Liquid Renegade picks him up. Can he get the kill? Just one tick away. Maxon taking a lot of damage. Good taunt there from Richard Castle. Liquid Renegade gets healed up with that meditation. Subfloor off the mark with the snipes, and he's got nowhere to run. Rob Diggity gets himself another kill onto his lane opponent. Tier 2 tower falls in the mid. No Fire Giant down, but Avant Garde looking for the middle Phoenix.
They can definitely take more than 2 Phoenixes with this because they have Divine. Looks to be the Pandamonium going back into this one. Stop time going to hit Richard Castle, and he falls down to Divine.
Divine on a killing spree here. Middle Phoenix falls down, but Avant Garde taking a bit of damage here. Gonna back away and buy. My goodness, they are showing up big here at the Oceania Esports Masters. In fact, they're looking to take away some buffs here. Are they looking for the Fire Giant? That would be a very risky call. No, they're going to end up just backing away, head back to base, buy some items, take another favorable fight.
Yeah, this is definitely going well for the side of Avant Garde, doubling the kills even more so than Team Pandemonium have got in this game. Most of them are finishing off their core builds. You can take a look at El Chuckles. He's now got Frostman. He has the Height of the Urchin. 2, 1, and 10. He is easily stacking up those Urchin stacks, getting himself even more protection. Divine just backed, picked up Rodder Tahuti, and now he's building some penetration. Could it be the Obsidian Shard?
It could be, but I'd rather see him on something like a Spear of the Mage, just it works a little bit better with Cronus and for tower damage as well. It looks like El Chocos as well is going to go into something like a Bulwark. Could be a Pestilence for the heal coming out of the Amaterasu, but the Bulwark just provides a lot of protection against burst damage. Liquor Renegade's got a really nice build online as well. With his Spirit's Robe, a lot of CC on the side of Team Pandemonium. With that, he's going to get some protection there from that damage. Liquor Renegade forcing Ochita to teleport away here. Rough. Roots subfloor in face. Forces out the purification. Miscommunication there. Subfloor knocked in the air. Doesn't matter. He's still done. Chuckles picks up a kill there. Now Avant Garde looking for the Fire Giant. Liquor Renegade just bullying Ochita out here. Ochita, famous for his objective steal with that Janus dive, does have it online here. If Pandemonium gets some vision on it, we could look for the steal here if he gets that one. Gruff will certainly be on tilt. Reminders of the last land. A row looking for to interrupt here, but stunned in place. Forced to use the dazzling offensive. Torn from Richard Castle, finds 2, but they're just drawing Avant Garde away from the Fire Giant at this point, and Avant Garde wisely turn around and look to continue that objective.
I think Gruff is doing what he needs to do here. He needs to just zone away the members, keep them out of there. We still see Ochita. Have a look at him all the way up the top there. Could look to dive onto Row here. He's stunned. He's dead.
No dazzling offensive to save his life there. Ochita uses his unstable vortex through the wall, and you're exactly right. Gruff doing just what he needs to do, forcing
he doesn't want another steal. He doesn't want it.
Yeah, Maxon's hiding right behind. Maxon does have a Wrath online. Could look for a spectacular steal here. Does have the Theodore Evil ultimate available as well. Fire Giant very low here. Liquor Renegade though has the Wrath. Secures it for Avant Garde. Through space and time used by Ochita, but it is too late. He's got nowhere to run now. Looking for a portal. He can't get through it finally. Manually gets himself one. Rob Diggity knows exactly where he is though. He's got a mark of the Golden Crow on, so they know Ochita is now looking for a split push kind of fight on the right-hand side, but it doesn't matter. Avant Garde just going straight for the Phoenix here and could be looking to end.
Yeah, they're definitely going to take down this right side Phoenix. They have Rob Diggity and Divine. Divine going to be tanking this one, dishing us so much damage. Are they looking to end here?
Gruff taking a lot of damage here. 2 Phoenixes down. For Team Pandemonium, Avant Garde looking very good here. Divine, we can see him on your screen now. Titan, 50% HP. Down comes the Sunbreaker ultimate. This could be game number 1 going the way
25%.
of Avant Garde. 25% HP, and the Titan is about to fall down. Torn from Richard Castle. Maxon picking up kills, but Divine finishes off Maxon, gets the kill, and gets the game here. Avant Garde take the first game in this best-of-5 series against the defending champions, Team Pandemonium.
Where has this been all split? You come into this and it's like Avant Garde, they're 4 seed. Nobody expected them to beat Lexi.
No one expected them to win a game.
No one expected them to win a single game. I didn't expect them to win a game. Did you?
No.
No. Versing Lexi,
they're 3-0 here at LAN. They haven't dropped a game.
They haven't come close to dropping a game.
Tremendous
What
work
is
here
this?
from Avant Garde, and we thought we'd show it off to you guys here between games. This is what everyone is fighting for. The Smite Oceania Split 2 final medal. Very nice and shiny. You can see it on your screen. This is 6 one of these, so I might take one of these home myself. We're also going to give away some codes now here in the chat, so get your keyboards ready. Get your Smite accounts ready to receive some of these codes.